With that down, let's move on to our fourth main topic today. And our fourth main topic today gets sent in to us from Highman Hiway, who writes, "Greetings, guys. This just hit out of nowhere, but apparently John Turturro is doing a Big Lebowski spinoff called Jesus Rolls. It's actually The Jesus Rolls, based on his Jesus character. How did something like this come together and none of us even heard about it? It's even got a release date now. I love the Jesus character, but isn't it like way too late for a Lebowski spinoff? And well, what do you think?" All right. Yeah, for those of you who did not hear, there is a Big Lebowski spinoff film coming based on the John Turturro character. Here's a little bit about the film that we know right now. A trio of misfits whose irreverent, sexually charged dynamic evolves into a surprising love story as their spontaneous and flippant attitude towards the past or future backfires time and time again, even as they inadvertently perform good deeds. When they make enemies with a gun-toting hairdresser, their journey becomes one of constant escape from the law, from society, and from the hairdresser. All while the bonds of their outsider family strengthen. And this is, of course, a picture of Turturro, a new picture of Turturro as the Jesus. Here's an interesting fact about this. This isn't just actually out of nowhere. This film shot in late 2015.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, this movie's actually been out for a while. The first promotion for the film came out in 2016, and they were originally hoping to get a 2017 release date. It got scuttered off to a shelf somewhere, has been sitting around for a couple years, and apparently now it's got a new distributor, and they are saying early 2020, The Jesus Rolls will come out. Guys, I think they raise an interesting question here. Like, Big Lebowski was what, 98? 98, 99? We're talking 20 years since this thing. We're talking about a relatively small character from that movie. A very fun character nonetheless, but a relatively small one. Aaron, let me start with you on this.
Okay.
Number one, are you surprised to hear this movie's getting made, even though it's kind of been on the shelf now for a couple of years? And number two, is it too late to do something like this, or do you think there could still be a market for it?
It's never too late for a Big Lebowski spinoff, and I'm craving a White Russian as we speak. I mean, I still hear Big Lebowski references all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And of people of varying ages. I mean, I remember when I was living in New York just a couple of years ago, I went to a Central Park screening of it out in the park, and there were thousands of people there all quoting the movie along with the characters. The only thing that I can immediately tell is maybe a reason why this film has been sitting on the shelves is because the Jesus was not wearing his bowling onesie.
Right. So
that I think is a problem, because that is definitely a look that I enjoyed and I want to see a lot more of, as well as the bowling glove and the long pinky nail. He is a character that did stand out in such a way, and I would be surprised. I mean, obviously the film is already made, so people know. I would be surprised if we didn't see some really fun cameos from John Goodman and some of the other people that were in the movie, because it seemed like such a classic film that people really enjoyed doing. Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
My last names are not working today.
And you know, to your point about there's still a lot of people that quote it and talk about it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, remember at Super Bowl? It was before the Super Bowl, because Jeff Bridges gets back in the Lebowski outfit for that, I think it was a beer commercial that he did with Sarah Jessica Parker and a few other people, but still images came out a week or two before the ad, and nobody knew what it was for. And all you had was everybody around the world putting up these tweets that's like, God, yes, tell me this is true, because everybody kind of thought it was a Big Lebowski sequel. So there is still a big hunger for this stuff, Rob. But anyway, you're hearing this. Number one, are you curious to see this movie? Number two, is it too late? Or is it, as Aaron was saying, never too late for a Big Lebowski sequel?
I'm with Aaron. It's never too late for a Big Lebowski sequel, because that movie has permeated our culture unlike many movies have. And, you know, we even had, like, Jeff Bridges made a presentation at at one of his friends, I forget who it was, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And he put on the Big Lebowski character, and everybody got it. And I think that this, to make this kind of a film, and I read that the brothers gave their blessing, the Coen brothers gave their blessing to this film. I just like the fact that somebody did this. You know, it's the kind of that we live in a world. I know what it's like. I'm working on a movie that's been made since 2015. I know what that's like, and they stuck to their guns. They probably made it out of love with a very low budget. I hope it's funny. I hope it works. I think it sounds pretty bonkers. But I just love the fact we do live in a world. I mean, the fact that this is the kind of sequel that gets made is a lot more fun than, say, a Men in Black International to me. I'd much rather see something like this, as long as it's good. If it turns out to be horrific, then, well, I'll eat my words.
How do you think it's going to do?
Well, the Big Lebowski was never a huge hit.
That's true.
It's like, I don't know. Here's another thing about Hollywood. Because we all love these things, we just think that the world outside is going to embrace them as well. Like, hey, let's spend $170 million on a Blade Runner sequel, which, by the way, is one of the greatest sequels ever made. But Blade Runner never made any money. The only people that love Blade Runner are people like us, film fans. I know, John, you're not even a big fan of Blade Runner, but they spent $170 million making it, and it made no money, even though it's one of the greatest science fiction films ever made. I love Blade Runner 2049. But they thought it was going to make money. Why? I don't know. This movie, if they make it for, probably cost 2 cents to make this movie.
Yeah, probably bus fare.
And putting it out, I think this film actually has a shot of making some money based on what it cost. But I don't understand why they don't do more of this.
And it's interesting that it's been sitting on a shelf.
Right.
Like
that makes
for
me
so
wonder
many
if
years.
there is something that maybe needs to be retooled and retweaked. But also, another thought just popped in my head about the references to it. Hello, Thor in Endgame. He was the Big Lebowski, and they modeled his character.
They name checked it.
They even
named it. They were like, I think it's like Iron Man says, "What's up with you, Big Lebowski?"
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
And he was walking around essentially being that character. So I think that the references are very strong, very true, but maybe there is something that needs to be retweaked. And with this new resurgence of interest in the film, maybe that's what we'll get.
Okay, quick number over under. Okay, Rob, start with you. Over under 35%. Jeff Bridges makes a cameo in this film. Over under 35%.
Over.
Over 35%. Aaron?
Over.
I'm going to take under, but it would be great. It would seem like a real missed opportunity if they don't do that. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this? Are you excited for the Jesus roles? Or are you like, nah, I'd be excited for a Big Lebowski too, but not so much Jesus roll? Let me know what you guys think. Jump down in the comment section below and leave your thoughts. All right.